system built to divide and impoverish and destroy us cannot stand if we do. So what's going to happen is we are going to have equal rights and justice in our own country, or we will restructure their function and ours. You're free, they keep telling us. But she would have been alive if she hadn't acted so free. The burden of the brutalized is not to comfort the bystander.
Well, I basically went to jail for fucking someone else's gun and their drugs.
Okay.
And I was just walking by. I was just at the wrong place.
Wrong place, wrong time.
One of those type of things. The story goes like I was right here so happened by the right there on Floral by the California Highway Patrol Station. I was just walking by, bro, fucking talking to the homies, you know. I see some fools from Lopez. They know me. Like, I'm always over there, you know. I was doing my thing. Yeah. I was just saying what's up, you know. But so happened these fools they shot a gun like 5 minutes before I got there. They were shooting the gun. I didn't hear it. I guess I had music on. Mm-hmm. So I get there, and everybody's cool. We're posted, we're drinking. I'm saying what's up. Next thing you know, dude, 10 fucking squad cars, all circles, helicopters, everything, bro. It was fucking, I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, all right. I'm like, I'm cool. Like, you know, I'm the only guy right here with a skateboard, a backpack, you know. Okay. Whatever. And so I'm like, I'm cool. These fools are all blasted up. Oh, they're no shirt, tatted, LMV, you know, blasted like straight gangsters. One apparently had a gun and they threw it in the bush. Somebody had like a fucking 8-ball fucking meth or something. Yeah, they threw that somewhere. And I don't know why, but out of all those fools, the gang unit they put me in the car. I don't know. I still to this day don't understand why. And they asked me like, whose gun is this? Whose dope is this? And I was like, I don't know. I was just passing by saying what's routine. So I'm in the squad car and I'm just tripping out. Like, why do they have all these gangsters lined up around the car and they have their hands on the hood, but I'm in handcuffs in back of the car already. Like, they didn't even ask me what's going on yet. Like, I'm just tripping out. It trips me out to this day because I got dealt that good cop, bad cop routine. After this day, I don't know why. Like, so first the good cop comes in and he's like, hey, so what's going on? Like, or do you know these people? And I'm like, nah, sir, to be honest, I'm just passing by. I'm gonna go see a friend that lives in the projects right here. And he's like, okay, what's your name? What do you, you know, I gave him my information because I didn't care, you know, I didn't have drugs on me. I didn't mind, you know, and, I'm in the system already because I had gotten busted from the first. So when they ran me. They already knew me. They had you in the record. They know me already. Yeah. Like, you know. So he seemed cool, and then he's like, "Okay, you'll be all right." He closes the door. Right as soon as he closes the door, this other cop comes in, and I think he was like a marshal, dude. He looked like one of those, like, whose fucking gun is this? The drugs are yours, huh? The dope's yours, huh? And I'm like, no, like, what are you talking about? Like, dude, I'm being honest, sir. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just passing by. And he's like, what did you go to jail for? And like a dumbass, I admitted it. I said, because it's in my record. He knew. It popped up, so I was like, why lie? Like, they ran my record already. I was like, well, about 5 months ago, I got caught for meth. And he just looked at me, he laughed. He just slammed the door. And I went to jail, dude. I did a whole month.
He literally just got you just because of the fact, like, you're just a bystander, so just because of the fact that you had a previous record.
I had a previous record, yeah.
They were like...
So if I'm driving, like, and if I get pulled over, I already know you gotta play it cool. Because if you show them the slightest bit of, like, pride, it just goes downhill. Because at the end of the day, they have a right to carry a gun. They have a right to lock you up. And that's why it's hard for certain people. That's why all this stupid shit's happening. That's why, like, they're taking what happens where, somebody innocently gets killed, It's because, like, I feel like they just abuse their power because they've been through something to get to where they are today, and they have that in the back of their mind, so they feel like they gotta be on edge at all times, when in reality it shouldn't be that way. They're supposed to protect and serve.
That's our motto. We want freedom by any means necessary. We want justice by any means necessary. We want equality by any means necessary. Give us our freedom. Give us our freedom. Give us our freedom. Give us our freedom.
We, the hundreds of thousands, the millions of women, trans people, men and youth who are here at the Women's March, we represent the powerful forces of change that are determined to prevent the dying cultures of racism, heteropatriarchy from rising again.
Remember that no matter what obstacles stand in our way, nothing can stand in the way of the power of millions of voices calling for change. Generations of Americans have responded to a simple creed that sums up the spirit of a people. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
This is the story of Ben the Beetle. Ben is a beetle. He lives in Bisbee, Arizona. Ben wears a purple t-shirt every day. It's his favorite shirt. Ben goes on a quest to find his family a new place to live. On his quest, he encounters a problem. As Ben is walking, the lights go out. It's complete darkness. Ben panics. What was he going to do if he couldn't see? Then he had an idea. Ben began to search for a lightning bug. Ben was still panicking, but he rushed up a cherry tree but his favorite t-shirt got caught. Ben started to panic even more. His t-shirt was ripped in two. Ben was devastated. He sat at the bottom of the tree wallowing. When suddenly he saw light. "Where is this coming from?" he asked. Then he realized it was coming from himself. Underneath the t-shirt that he loved so dearly was the light he had been looking for. Ben went on his way. He found a safe spot for his family, and when he got back, his wife and his daughter were shocked to see him without his t-shirt. They asked what had happened, and he just said, "It's a long story, but I think we might not be Beatles."
Where is the love? Where is the change? What kind of statement are we trying to make? Where is the love to fight all the pain?
I realize this is compromise. Survival of the fittest, only strong survives. All alone in my failures, my lonely road. Paid by the struggles, but to each his own. I hear the cries, the surge of pain. Trust me, people will survive the rain. The wind of change coming again. Don't trip my queens, cause we're here to slay. We're here all day, we're here to pray. They want us out, but we're here to stay. We're free again, we're poets again. Nothing less than success when it comes to a verse. I'm not out for the press, I'm not out for revenge, but I'm pushing mother, cause I'm close to the edge. So I pay my respects and I reflect on the specs. And the conclusion very likely is I won't deal with the hate. So let me pause for a change, let me fire the sage. Only good vibes turn up from here to the end. Life is short, man, trust me, I relate. Let's lean on each other, together we brave. And that's on God.
Where's the love?
That's on God.
Where is the love? Where is the change? What kind of statement are we trying to make? Where is the love to fight all the hate? How's our children gonna see better days? Where is the love? Where is the change? What kind of statement are we trying to make? Where is the love to fight all the hate? How's our children gonna see better
Let's escape this
days?
place of hate that we create and find better ways for us to elevate. I seen all these faces chasing dreams of change. We all making cash, but no one's making change. So freeze frame, how'd I end up like this? Ain't no looking back, no we can't reminisce. We say the past is in the past and the present is a gift. Well, this gift I must exchange to make a change for the kids.
Next.
Damn it, you hottie. Next! Hold it right there. Wait for the light to turn green and walk towards me.
Excuse me? What did you just say?
You heard me. Walk towards me. Give me your papers, Mustafa.
Get your hands off me. What is this all about? What the hell did I do?
I need to conduct a random search, and it does not concern you.
Right, a random search. This is because I spoke up against your racist slurs.
Based on what reasonable suspicion or probable cause? Back the F up.
This is all because I'm Middle Eastern. Being Middle Eastern is not wrong. I'm not a bad person. I'm a law-abiding, tax-paying American citizen.
You know what? Call your supervisor over right now. Here's my badge number, and the supervisor is on his way. If you're going to random search him, then don't forget to random search me too, jerk.
You need to search me too.
Yeah, search me.
And me.
Me too.
Right here.
Over
Search
here,
me.
Search me.
Yeah, me too.
Over here, search me.
Yeah, me too.
Over here, search me.
Terrorist.
Freedom fighter.
Strike! Boycott.
Illegal alien.
Undocumented immigrant. Everyone must stand for the anthem. It's patriotic.
Colin Kaepernick is brave for supporting the movement publicly.
Black Lives Matter!
Actually, all lives matter?
Illegal aliens are taking our jobs.
We need to support undocumented immigrants.
Antifa riots are full of criminals, looters, and murderers.
No justice, no peace. We protest for equal rights.
AOC was a bartender. She's unfit to be in Congress.
COVID-19. Wear a mask.
It's a hoax! My personal freedom!
Make America great again!
Keep America great.
Is America great?
We scream, but no one hears us. We move, but no one sees us. Over 100 years later, we lose hundreds of blood. Tell me, why should we sing songs of sorrow again? Media, we scream out to you, but you don't hear us. Friends, we make movements, but you don't see us. Over 100 years later, we are fighting to survive again. Tell me why you sit there and post a fly on the wall. World, we speak up, but you forget us. World, you hear us, but you don't listen to us. Over 100 years later, we are fighting to exist. We are fighting for humanity. Do you hear us?
Is not to comfort the bystander.
I remember being stopped and not told why I was being stopped.
I remember being stopped by the police and feeling extremely nervous.
I remember being pulled over, feeling like I just want to receive a ticket and get to go home.
I remember being afraid to grab my phone and turn off the music because I didn't want the police thinking it was a gun.
I remember being asked to get out of the vehicle and get on the sidewalk because he didn't trust me.
I remember the officer walking up to the side of my vehicle with his hand on his gun, asking me to roll down the window.
I remember feeling fear and anxiety.
I remember thinking that I didn't want my mom to lose her only son like this.
I remember having nightmares after several days with this same recurring scene of being stopped and being put in handcuffs.
I remember the feeling of anxiety when I saw those red and blue lights flash behind me.
I remember being told that my kind shouldn't be there.
There is a problem that needs to be addressed right now, and that problem has got to be the anti-blackness mentality that's in the Asian community, and specifically the Filipino community. Through the recent economic climate of things and how the media portrays the Black Lives Matter protests, this mentality has gotten worse. And the thing is, they're only fighting against violence and the injustice that they face. And if anything, we as Filipinos need to stand by them more than ever, or have we forgotten our own history? Let's start with the creation of the Philippines, one that came from bloodshed and violence. This country was claimed by Spain in the 1500s, and their rule led to the destruction of local religion and cultural identity, lasting effects to this day. And do you know what happened after Spanish colonialism? American imperialism. This new rule was not welcomed and actually led to the Philippine-American War of 1899. This was a brutal war for the Philippines. U.S. forces at the time burned villages, employed torture on suspected combatants, created concentration camps, and committed mass murder. It would be the first time America would employ waterboarding, dubbed the water cure, and would bring the most resourceful world power face to face with the dehumanizing atrocities of imperialism. The war ended in American victory with 4,200 American combatants dead and more than 200,000 Filipino combatants, but mostly civilians, dead. There are so many aspects of Filipino-American history that's been forgotten. Besides the fact that Filipino Americans were excluded from World War II history, during the war, Filipinos were actually segregated with black folk away from white soldiers. Let's not forget that America saw Filipino natives as uncivilized, dirty creatures, and that America only came to the Philippines to cleanse them of their filth. A Filipino scholar named Luz Vimida Francisco writes, "The Americans were contemptuous of Filipinos, and they had little respect for the fighting ability of the Philippine army. They referred to Filipinos as N-word, barbarians, and savages, reflecting both the racist and imperialistic attitudes of American society at large." And this may be a shock to some, but native Filipinos were actually dark-skinned with curly hair. And here's another tidbit of history. Asians and Filipinos alike were only able to immigrate here in large numbers because of the effort of black activists. It was the victories of the civil rights movement that allowed the passage for the Immigration and Naturalization Act of 1965. And let's not forget that in the 1970s, San Francisco was trying to evict Filipinos from Little Manila, and the people who stood with us was actually the Black Panthers. So we too must take a stand with our black brothers because we have faced a similar pain. Filipino-American poet Carlos Bulosan beautifully defined what it meant to be American. America is not a land of one race or one class of men. We are all Americans that have toiled and suffered and known oppression and defeat. From the first Indian that offered peace in Manhattan to the last Filipino pea pickers. America is not bound by geographical latitudes. America is not merely a land or an institution. America is in the hearts of men that died for freedom. It is also in the eyes of men that are building a new world. America is also the nameless foreigner, the homeless refugee, the hungry boy begging for a job, and the black body hanging from a tree. America is the illiterate immigrant who is ashamed that the world of books and intellectual opportunities is closed to him. We are that nameless foreigner, that homeless refugee, that hungry boy, that illiterate immigrant, and that lynched black body. All of us from the first Adams to the last Filipino, native-born or alien, educated or illiterate, we are America.
My story is the one bled by millions. My story is the one riddled with the holes of bullets yesterday. My story is the one killed by bullets drenched on the promises of tomorrow. My dance is called la danza con sazón. My prose is called la raza que siempre perdona, but lives to never be forgiven. My essence is made of the inconvenience of la deportación. I am below all, never to be seen, the shade of a shadow sin razón. I am the mamacitas que las violan para ser madrecitas. Yo soy el penacho ensangrentado del Tecún y de Montezuma. I am the fear of the women of Juárez que son globales. I am the Spanglish, the Englishman with the LA accent. My story is the one of millions unwillingly drowned, the story of a drunken poeta living in shame. I am that shadow translated the blood of bullets and drive-bys. I am the reminder of the pain of el pueblo crying por sus hijos. Mi hijo, ¿dónde está mi hijo? What happened to my mijo? Se chingaron al hijo. My words rhyme by nature of sacrifice. My sacrifice rhymes with my nature. My nature is born in reflection of rhymes. And my words by nature are usually a crime. And then sacrifice, you did. I am that Latinx. I am that poet immersed in the brown skin and the red blood of his people. I am that sacrilegious loss of our culture and traditions. I am that tum-tum and the boom-boom on the rampla ready to kill. I am that Latinx. I am that Latinx. I am that poet Latinx. I am the tum-tum and the boom-boom of the bachata and the reggaeton. I am the voice of Jacqueline. I am the voice muted by white privilege. I am the voice of Piñero, the New Yorican Cafe. I am the poet called Latinx. I represent the endless vigils in the corners of Las Bodegas. I represent the moonless nights crossing the Rio Grande. I represent the misrepresented fears of the majority. I represent the cold feet of the 90s waiting for that 5 a.m. bus to take care of the gringuitos. I represent Latinx. I am Latinx. I am that poet Latinx. I am the tum-tum and the boom-boom of the rampla ready to kill. that warrior cry at the end of the spear where our Mayan, Inca, and Aztec ancestors died. I represent the genocide, never recognized but celebrated in Columbus Day. I bleed art tagged in gentrified buildings through the eyes of spoken word. I understand life through our addiction of verses and struggles. I let truth reflect my soul. As painful as that is, I am that poet, Latinx.
Unemployment claims processed since the pandemic.
Historic 2020 NBA championship belongs to the Los Angeles Lakers.
And strike three. Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
Joseph R. Biden Jr. is elected the 46th president of the United States.
In 2020, a year so improbable, my city, my people, and myself have lost many battles. Many Angelinos have lost so many loved ones. We have lost our jobs. We have been denied our right to speak up. But things are going to change. Our results are starting to look promising. We all have different perspectives, and in this world, we all have different purposes. With that said, within all this madness, I try to reevaluate myself and find beauty in art with color. Without further ado, here's my perspective of beauty within the madness.
Last wish got the bullets on my dome. I put on for my bullets on my dome. Purgatory form, bet I'm gon' put that I put on for my people. Need a face for the case, it's all good, cause I put on for my people. 5 minutes out, full ride. We brown and we proud. Blessed to be alive. West with love, Alex, T. Cree, and whoever else. Two of on that bellows on, but they looking down. Got me lost in my zone, got me writing these songs. I hear Aaron when I need to hear a voice on the phone. Way too many bitches in my life. 20 candles in, but I feel too nine. Change is good, carry around much, but I'll never carry dimes. Will attract lust, lust loves pain, the pain loves cuss. How I wanna be shook, but I'm looking up to Puff. Tell me that another brown man lost, but it is not worth my mom's tears. You can bet I'm gon' persevere when my conscience clear. My dear, please don't step on my cortez. Understand when you step around the cortezes.
Report suspicious activity and call 911 for immediate response.
Turn off the TV, it's starting to freak me. It's
not racist at all, no, never was. It comes from China. That's why.
Near 16th Avenue and 77th Street, not far from the spot where police say an 89-year-old woman was slapped on the face and almost set on fire.
I get overwhelmed so easily. My anxiety creeps inside of me, makes it hard to breathe. What's come over me feels like I'm somebody else. I get overwhelmed so easily. My anxiety keeps me silent when I try to speak. What's come over me feels like I'm somebody else. I get overwhelmed. These faces who don't know what space is, and crowds are shut down. I'm overstimulated. Nobody gets it. Say I'm too sensitive. I can't listen cause I'm eyeing the exits. Is mine, isn't mine. Who am I to judge?
for the man on the screen. Baby, what you gotta make you happy. Everyone's just in a rush to lead to a greater belief we're a family. It's time to hear the cries. When will we realize it's time to hear the cries? We gave them paradise. I feel insurgents from every direction. It seems nobody attempts to care. Is it worth it to search for connection when all I see are empty Hear the sound of shuffling feet. That's when the beasts receive their need. Everyone's just in a rush to leave, too hollow to feel the breeze. It's time to hear the cries. When will we realize it's time to hear the cries? We gave them paradise. Na 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 na.
Give us a dream. Give us a dream. Give us a dream.
That's our motto. We want freedom by any means necessary. We want justice by any means necessary. We want equality by any means necessary.
Give us a dream. Give us a dream. Give us a dream. Give us a dream.
The hundreds of thousands, the millions of women, trans people, men and youth who are here at the Women's March, we represent the powerful forces of change that are determined to prevent the dying cultures of racism, heteropatriarchy from rising again.
remember that no matter what obstacles stand in our way, nothing can stand in the way of the power of millions of voices calling for change. Generations of Americans have responded to a simple creed that sums up the spirit of a people. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.